plains of the Okavango Delta in Botswana. The African wild dog doesn't look like much. Smaller than a lion, leaner than a hyena, its coat splashed like messy paint. Yet this is one of the most successful hunters on the African continent. This pack using that keeps both antelopes and scientists paying such close attention. To understand why a pack of African wild dogs is so formidable, you have to watch them in the quiet rhythm of daily life, not chi in a few seconds of hunting chaos. Across the grasslands of the Serengeti in northern Tanzania, through the open woodlands of Masai Mara in southwest Kenya, and down into the flooded plains of the Okavango Delta in Botswana. African wild dogs, Lycaon pictus, move like living brushstrokes on a canvas of yellow grass. Their bodies are lean but muscular, legs long, ears round and oversized, coats splashed in black, gold and white. No two coats are the same, as if each animal has been painted once and never copied. That broken pattern helps them dissolve into grass, shadows and rocks, making it hard for prey to read how many hunters are coming. They live in packs, often from 6 to more than 20 individuals. At the core is a breeding pair, surrounded by brothers, sisters and their offspring. Unlike many other predators, there is little brutal fighting for rank. What holds the pack together is simple. Together they catch more, and more mouths survive. If you think only humans have multi-generational families living and working as one, a wild dog pack on the savannah is a powerful counterexample. In the cool of early morning, when dew still clings to the grass and the heat has not yet settled in, the pack stirs. They greet each other with high-pitched twittering calls, wagging tails, and muzzles pressed to faces in a noisy, good morning ritual. Those big round ears do more than listen, they also help release heat. In the African sun, every detail of the body has a job to do to keep them from burning out too fast. Their favorite prey are impala and gazelles, sometimes young wildebeest or warthogs. They prefer relatively open country with long sightlines, the rolling plains of the Serengeti, or the open patches between bushes in Masai Mara. Lions often rely on a short, explosive ambush from close range. Wild dogs choose another path, endurance. They pick a target, often a weak or young animal, and then the whole pack begins to pressure, split and chase it over distances that can stretch for several kilometers. An African wild dog can sprint at around 50 to 60 kilometers per hour over short bursts, but the real weapon is how long they can keep a higher pace than their prey. When the lead dog tires, another slides up to take its place, like a relay race with teeth. Some studies report that in certain areas, their hunts succeed more than 60% of the time, sometimes even higher, while lions and leopards may hover around 20 to 30%. If you were an antelope choosing your worst nightmare, would you rather face a big cat that might give up, or a pack of long-legged hunters that simply does not? But winning the chase doesn't guarantee a peaceful meal. On the savannah, lions and spotted hyenas are master thieves. They often follow from a distance, waiting for the dogs to pull prey down before charging in, and using sheer size and force to steal everything. That's why wild dogs eat fast. The entire pack piles onto a carcass and strips it in minutes, filling bellies while there is still time, and shrinking the loss when the neighbors arrive. One successful hunt can instantly turn into another race, this time against the clock and the laughing calls of hyenas closing in. The real heart of the pack lies far from the chase, in the den. Many packs reuse abandoned burrows dug by aardvarks, or old dens on sandy banks near seasonal streams in Okavango or Masai Mara. In breeding season, a female can give birth to 6 to more than 10 pups, sometimes up to 15 in a single litter. When that happens, the entire strategy of the pack shifts. Hunting trips become shorter, hunts more frequent, and there are always a few adults staying behind to guard the pups. Every adult helps raise the young. After a hunt, returning dogs will regurgitate meat for the pups, and also for babysitters left at the den, even for old or injured packmates. This food-sharing behavior has led biologists to rank African wild dogs among the most cooperative of all carnivores. Where many species quietly drop the weakest to lighten the load, here the weak are carried along, as long as the pack can still bring food home. Their communication system is equally intriguing. They use high twittering calls, soft growls, ear and tail positions, and even sneezes. In one study, researchers watched packs vote on when to start a hunt by sneezing. The more sneezes, the more likely the group was to stand up and move out. It sounds almost comical, but it's a simple way for multiple individuals to take part in a shared decision, a rough, instinctive version of democracy written in breath and dust. For all their apparent freedom, the world of African wild dogs is shrinking. Roads slice through old migration routes between places like the Serengeti and Masai Mara. Wire snares set for bushmeat can clamp down on a running dog's leg. Diseases such as canine distemper and rabies, carried by domestic dogs from nearby villages, can wipe out entire packs. In the wild today, there may only be a few thousand African wild dogs left, scattered across small, isolated populations in eastern and southern Africa. For a species that depends so heavily on the strength of its pack, losing just a handful of members can be enough to bring a whole family line to an end. As the sun sinks behind the grasslands of Masai Mara or glows on the mirror-still waters of the Okavango, the pack gathers again. Pups curl into the center, adults ring them in a loose circle. Tomorrow they will run again, they will hunt again, they will face lions, hyenas, disease, and the silent advance of roads and fences. Watching them, we meet a very different image of what it means to be strong, not the biggest body, not the loudest roar, but the animal that cooperates, shares and refuses to quit. On a planet where habitats are changing faster than ever before, the question is no longer only whether African wild dogs can keep running. The question is whether we, standing on the outside looking in, will decide to run with them, or let their footsteps fade from the savannah for good. The peregrine falcon folds its wings and drops off the wind-lashed cliffs of Pembrokeshire, Wales, so fast the human eye can barely keep up. Off the coast of Mexico, a sailfish tears through blue water. While on the Serengeti, an ostrich explodes forward like a motorbike and a leopard bursts out of the grass. In that split second between life and death, where would you place your bet? On the dive from the sky, the streak underwater, or the lunge from the shadows? Across the sky, the open ocean, and the grasslands, the question sounds simple: which animal is the fastest? Look closer, and speed is no longer just a number on a chart. but the way each body is shaped to survive in its own world. Over the cold, windy coast of Pembrokeshire in Wales, a peregrine falcon hangs on a stream of air along the cliff face, eyes scanning flocks of birds below. The moment it picks a target, its body switches mode. Wings fold tight to its sides, head tilts down, and the whole bird drops like a stone-tipped arrow. Its dive can push past 300 kilometers per hour, so fast the human eye only catches a blur before the prey crumples in midair. To survive that kind of speed, the falcon isn't just trying harder, its body is built for it. Inside each nostril sits a small flap of tissue that breaks up the incoming air so it doesn't slam straight into the lungs. Across the eye, a clear protective membrane slides across like a see-through visor, closing during the dive to shield the eye without losing focus. A broad chest and thick breastbone anchor powerful flight muscles, letting the bird pull up and climb again almost immediately after the strike. Once, peregrines nested only on sea cliffs and mountain ledges. Today, they've moved into skyscrapers in cities like New York, London, and Singapore. Glass and concrete towers have become new cliffs, and city pigeons turned into perfect prey. A dive from the edge of a rooftop follows the same script as on the Welsh coast: a single fold of the wings, a silent drop, and a life or death moment that lasts less than a second. From the sky, we flip down into blue water off the Yucatan Peninsula in Mexico. Beneath the glittering surface, small fish pull together into a tight silver ball, each one trying to hide inside the crowd. Circling the edge is a sailfish, its body long and lean, upper jaw stretched into a sharp sword, and a tall fin folded along its back. When it attacks, the sailfish usually tucks that sail flat against its body, then lashes its tail to burst forward. For a few seconds it can reach about 100 kilometers per hour underwater. It doesn't charge straight through the middle of the school. Instead, several sailfish take turns slicing past the edge, suddenly raising their sails to herd the fish tighter, then flicking their bills sideways to stun a few individuals and knock them out of the group. Along the length of its body runs the lateral line, a row of tiny sensory pores that let it hear minute vibrations in the water and predict which way the school will turn, even in dim light. Some studies suggest that muscles near the sailfish's eyes and brain can generate heat, keeping the head slightly warmer than the surrounding water. That helps its eyes and nervous system react instantly in the cooler depths. Slow the hunting scene down, frame by frame, and every tail beat and turn has a purpose: push, split, isolate, finish the prey in the shortest possible time. The surface flattens, wave noise fades, and we move to the dry wind of the Serengeti Plains in northern Tanzania. On a carpet of yellow grass, an adult African ostrich walks in long strides, its neck stretching up almost as high as the roof of a safari jeep. It cannot fly, but its legs turn the grassland into a racetrack. At a glance, an ostrich's legs look skinny, but they are a running machine. Each foot has only 2 toes, with the larger one taking nearly all the weight. When the bird accelerates, its long tendons work like springs. Every footfall stores energy, then releases it as the leg pushes off. Its speed can reach around 60 to 70 kilometers per hour and stay there for a surprisingly long distance. On the horizon, a lioness breaks into a run, tail whipping from side to side to keep her balance. The chase becomes a test of speed and heat tolerance. The lion explodes forward in the first stretch, but quickly overheats under the Serengeti sun and has to pant hard to cool down. The ostrich, with its bare neck, exposed skin, and small wings spread like two fans, can dump heat more easily. Huge eyes give it a wide field of view, so it can keep the predator in sight even while sprinting in a gentle curve away. Many of these all-out sprints serve one purpose: drawing a hunter away from a shallow scrape in the sand where the eggs are hidden. Each egg weighs more than a kilogram. The shell is thick, but still fragile against claws and teeth. In a world full of jaws, the parent's speed becomes the first layer of defense for the next generation. As the Serengeti light fades, it gives way to patchy shade in Masai Mara, Kenya. Beside a dry stream bed, a leopard lies low in a thicket, only its eyes moving. It doesn't hold the land speed record like the cheetah, but it is a master of close-range attacks. Its coat, patterned with rosettes, makes the leopard almost disappear among dry grass and tree trunks. It waits near a familiar game trail used by impalas. When the herd steps into a clearing, the cat closes the distance a little at a time. At the right moment, it springs up, surges forward for just a few seconds, hooks a hind leg to trip its target, then clamps its jaws around the throat. Right after the kill, the leopard starts dragging the carcass up a tree. Some individuals can haul prey nearly half their own body weight up to branches 10 meters above the ground. Up there, they are safer from hyenas, lions, and other thieves. In the leopard's world, climbing fast can matter just as much as sprinting. Line these four animals side by side: the peregrine falcon on the cliffs of Wales, the sailfish off Yucatan, the ostrich on the Serengeti plains, and the leopard in the woodlands of Masai Mara. And fastest suddenly has many meanings. In the sky, it's a vertical dive that turns gravity into a weapon. In the sea, it's a short burst in heavy water. On the plains, it's a long stride under fierce sun. In the shadows, it's a brief rush followed by a swift climb into the branches. Out there, this race has no scoreboard and no gold medal for the winner. It's just bodies honed over millions of years, trying to be just fast enough to live one more day. For us, watching these moments, the real question may not be who is the fastest, but this: if you had one chance to witness true wild speed with your own eyes, where would you stand? On a wind-beaten cliff, on the rail of a boat above blue water, or in the dust and brush of the African savannah? Saltwater crocodile. Salt glands arm it for the open coast. Nile crocodile. Pressure-sensing pits ring its jaws, reading the faintest ripple on Kenya's Mara River. Conical teeth to pierce and hold. A skull like armor, jaw adductors coiled like a spring. From Adelaide River, Northern Territory, to the banks of the Mara, whose design delivers the hardest bite on Earth. Dawn on the Adelaide River, Northern Territory, Australia. A thin skin of mist over mangrove roots. The water lies flat. A dark log drifts along the mud edge, only the eyes above the surface watching the cattle track. Far off, gulls rasp. Tide is rising. The saltwater crocodile settles exactly on the lip between shallow and deep, throat sealed by a palatal valve so it can open its mouth underwater without choking. Mud dusts the snout, but the jawline is studded with tiny pressure-sensing pits that read the faintest ripple, a footfall no wider than a breath. Stillness, but strung tight like a bow held at full draw. Salt glands in the tongue help it tolerate brine, letting it range from the river mouth to the surf without losing water. Wind shifts. The air tastes of mud and salt. Breathing slows. Peaceful frame, loaded lines. Across the continent, the sun already rides high over the Mara River in Masai Mara, Kenya. The sandbank is carved with zebra and antelope tracks. Beneath the brown surface, driftwood backs hold formation in a steady eddy. Nile crocodiles float with bellies up, jaws slightly open to dump heat. No sound. Dry wind brushes the grass, dust lifts, a zebra herd ghosts the bank. Rhythm here is migration, not tide. Each season, tens of thousands must cross. Underneath, jaw adductors wrap the skull like bundled rope. Conical teeth stand even and hard. Two far-flung scenes share the same heavy silence. Water smooths the bank. A single leaf spins. Minutes pass. Nothing moves, which only sharpens everything else. A stronger gust rakes the mangroves at Adelaide. Ripples break the glaze. A young feral pig steps down, licking a salt line on rock. The saltwater crocodile drives its tail in a hard crescent and launches, then drops like a spear. The wide head locks just behind the shoulder. The snap sounds dense and slick, like iron shutting. Mud and spray explode. It doesn't chew, it holds, then spins a death roll to tear and ruin balance. In a large individual, bite force can reach about 16,000 newtons for a flashing instant. But the real killers are angle and contact. The palatal valve closes. The animal drags its prey over the drop-off. Mud smears fly free, showing the dark slate of the scales. On the bank, a long slide mark inks the scene. On the Mara, the chatter of birds drowns under hoofbeats. The zebra surge down, water plates into white discs of foam. A huge Nile crocodile bursts from bank shadow and hooks the last zebra at the flank. Another clamps a leg. The whole mass tilts, like a tree bent by wind. They don't need to crush. They only need to hold and turn. Others slide aside to give the hunters space in the brown churn. In that chaos, those pressure pits along the jaws read escape lanes through micro ripples tactile vision. Big adults often deliver 13 to 14,000 newtons. When several animals latch on, the combined pull is worse than numbers on paper. Current rips hooves loose, deep mud sucks. All the advantages of land vanish when a body is half floating, half stuck. A brief rain squall darkens Adelaide's water. The saltwater crocodile has already hauled the kill into a tight eddy, where a fallen trunk makes cover. One more roll, the slab tears free and goes down. Inside the stomach, small stones and grit help stabilize and grind. The crocodile tilts its muzzle, then hides the rest beneath the log for the next tide to clean. Energy must pay back the days of waiting on near-zero burn. As a cold-blooded hunter, it shifts speed with sun and wind, spending only when payoff is clear. On the Mara, shouting thins into ragged breathing. The zebra sinks. The crocodile opens just enough to change grip without flooding its throat. The valve does the work, then closes and levers again. New arrivals take what's left. There's no law of equal shares, only opportunity. When the herd pulls away, the river calms. Brown circles unwind and disappear. On the sand, a few white-black hairs and bands of foam. The hunt ends as it began, inside a patch of opaque water. Evening draws in over the top end. Egrets return. Frogs click. A saltwater crocodile drags up to bask, warming the gut for clearly. A broad, heavy wedge of skull that gives strong leverage to closing muscles. A broken tooth will be replaced by one already growing beneath. The arsenal refreshes all lifelong. Pale scars stripe the back territory disputes, especially on the spring tides. Nests are mounded high with dry grass and leaves. Temperature inside decides sex in the hatchlings. Hot years can skew the balance. Biologists watch that curve closely. Night on Masai Mara. Moonlight drifts the surface, silvering the backs of crocodiles that lie like statues. Far away, antelope call each other low, urgent. A ranger's light slides the bank, freezes on pairs of eyes. Rest hours, but not safety. Crocodiles also contest access to the best bends, where fallen trees carve suction and prey funnels. Next morning, the bay near Darwin is calm. On the fisherman's radio, saltwater crocodiles out beyond the surf line, riding tide corridors, sometimes crossing narrow island channels. Tolerance for salinity opens the menu from mangrove creeks to the shore break, even sea turtles or small sharks when chance aligns. Downstream on the Mara, in slower, clearer water, the pattern flips. A big Nile crocodile ignores small fish and holds the ambush slot for the migration. Every choice runs on energy math intake versus spend. Miss once and you may go hungry for days. The winner at Adelaide is the saltwater crocodile. Short, decisive bite, heavy force, clean angle. The winners on the Mara are several Nile crocodiles working a moment when current wrecks all footing. If you frame it as a record among living animals, the crown for peak bite force measured so far rests with the saltwater crocodile, with giant individuals posting very high numbers. The Nile crocodile sits just behind, and in the wild, a massive Nile can outrank a smaller salty in the only metric that matters that day: size in the moment. Numbers give us a summit. The field gives us context, body size, bite angle, rock or mud, salinity, even wind. Night wind skims the Adelaide shallows back to glass. On the Mara, dust lifts again, another crossing coming. Two worlds, one hunting blueprint, paired by deep time. In that opaque water, what truly calls life or death, before the jaws shut the bite record on a graph, or the half second of perfect timing the eye can't catch. Across the golden plains of Kenya, a tall bird walks through the grass. Not a crane, not an eagle. Its crest rises with the wind, eyes locked on the trembling earth below. It doesn't fly, it hunts, not with its beak, but with its feet. This is the secretary bird, the serpent slayer of Africa. What drives a creature born to soar, to fight on the ground instead? Dawn over the Serengeti. The first light drips through the acacia trees, painting gold across the bird's feathers. The secretary bird shakes its wings, then strides forward slow, deliberate, each step a silent calculation. This is its kingdom, an endless battlefield of heat, dust, and survival. Tall as a child, wings stretching more than 2 meters. It's a bird that refuses to fly. It hunts on foot, not with talons from above, but with the precision of a fighter on the ground. Every strike of its leg can hit at nearly 50 kilometers per hour, enough to crush a skull in one blow. Its legs act like coiled springs, bones reinforced to absorb impact, tendons snapping like steel cables. Evolution built a weapon no other bird possesses. Near Lake Naivasha, a black mamba slides through the scorched grass. The bird doesn't retreat. It circles, eyes locked. The snake lifts its head, spreads its hood, a warning too late. The first kick lands, then another, a dull crack, silence. The hunt lasts seconds, the lesson, millions of years. The secretary bird is patience made flesh. It walks kilometers each day, scanning every ripple of the savannah for life. When it finds prey, it measures distance, angle, timing, perfect geometry in motion. Mice, lizards, locusts, everything small enough to move is food. Sometimes it stamps on the earth until burrows collapse, and life beneath the soil trembles to the surface. Its vision is twice as sharp as ours. It can detect movement 100 meters away. Each kick is not random force, but calculation, a split-second decision between life and death. Among herds of gazelles and buffalo, the secretary bird walks freely. When hooves disturb the grass, snakes are flushed out, an unspoken alliance of beast and bird. Both maintaining the balance of the plains. In the breeding season, a pair builds their nest high on an acacia. A circle of dry branches, 2 meters wide, strengthened year after year, memory woven into wood. Both parents share everything: hunting, guarding, feeding. Their calls echo rough and low, a language only they understand. 6 weeks later, the chicks hatch blind, fragile, hungry. The mother brings food, insects, then lizards, finally small snakes. Later, the young are trained to strike. The parents drop sticks, testing their reflexes. In this world, the art of kicking means survival, but the savannah never sleeps. Fires sweep the grasslands, storms rise, eagles steal the weak. Even hyenas and humans threaten the nests. Yet this bird endures. It rebuilds, it stays, because to stand is to live. At dusk, the Serengeti glows in red dust. The secretary bird walks through the fire-colored light. In the distance, something moves a snake. The air tenses. One swift motion, one final kick. Stillness again. In a land of venom and fang, the bird stands unshaken. It was born to fly but chooses to fight. Each footprint it leaves across the savannah is not just a trace of travel, but a quiet testament. Sometimes, the greatest power of nature is not the wings that lift us, but the courage to remain on the ground. Deep in the jungles of Khao Yai, Thailand, a shadow slides silently across the forest floor. It is the king cobra, the longest venomous snake on Earth. Unlike its kin that hunt rats or frogs, this giant feeds on its own kind. A ruthless choice, yet one that crowns it as ruler of the reptile world. What secret lies behind this strange and dangerous appetite? In the rainforests of Kerala, India, the air is heavy with moisture. Cicadas buzz endlessly, hidden in the dense shadows. From a damp crevice, a giant slides into view, the king cobra. Its body, more than 4 meters long, glides across the forest floor, every movement deliberate and silent. The forked tongue flickers, tasting the air. Through the Jacobson's organ, each particle carries a message. For this hunter, scent is sight. Among massive roots, a young crate slithers. It moves slowly, unaware of what lurks nearby. The cobra rises, hood flaring. It strikes with the speed of a spear. One deep bite, then it retreats, waiting. The venom does the rest. Unlike pythons that crush their prey, the cobra conserves its strength. It waits as the victim trembles, then stills, a strategy perfected over millions of years. When the rains flood Khao Yai Forest in Thailand, the ground turns to mud. A large monitor lizard crawls through the dripping leaves. But just meters away, death waits. The lizard is powerful, armed with claws and sharp teeth. Yet a single bite from the cobra is enough. Its venom attacks the nervous system, paralyzing muscles, silencing the lungs. Within minutes, the struggle is over. But the king is not invincible. In the skies of Myanmar, the crested serpent eagle scans the canopy. Few predators dare to challenge a cobra of this size, yet from above, the attack is sudden and lethal. On the ground, another enemy waits, the mongoose. Small, fast, immune enough to survive a bite. These two adversaries, bird and mammal, are part of the eternal balance. Even a king must live with fear. In the rainforests of Borneo, another secret is revealed. A female king cobra coils around her nest. She has gathered leaves, building a mound, and guards it fiercely. Weeks will pass before the eggs hatch, and she will not leave. Among snakes, this devotion is rare. For her offspring, survival depends entirely on her watchful defense. Evolution has given the cobra not just power, but the instinct to protect its bloodline. Dusk falls over the red earth of Laos. The cobra's shadow stretches long across the forest floor. Tonight, it does not hunt. It moves slowly, fading into the darkness, leaving only silence in its wake. The jungle remembers its presence. Fear lingers, even after the serpent is gone. From Kerala to Khao Yai, from Myanmar to Borneo, the king cobra's story is one of power, danger, and survival. Apex predator, devoted parent, vulnerable prey, its life is a paradox. But the greatest threat does not come from eagle or mongoose. It comes from us. Roads cut through its forest, farms replace its hunting grounds, villages spread across its kingdom. The throne remains, but it trembles. And so, the question lingers in the humid night air. How much longer will the jungle echo with the silent passage of the king cobra? Over the frozen skies of Alaska, a white shadow dives like lightning. Wings span more than 2 meters wide, slicing through the icy wind along the cliffs of Prince William Sound. In a single wing beat, talons strike the water, hauling a silver salmon into the air. This is the bald eagle, the ultimate hunter of speed and strength in the north. But what makes it the undisputed ruler of these cold and endless skies? Morning breaks over the lower Chilkat River in Alaska. The cold wind carries the scent of the sea across the tall evergreens. The sky glows pale blue, and the surface of the water flashes like glass. On a bare branch near the shore, a bald eagle stands motionless. Everything seems calm, but beneath the river's surface, thousands of salmon are surging upstream to spawn. The eagle knows this. It doesn't waste energy. It simply adjusts its wings, letting the wind hold it steady. In a land where every calorie can mean survival, stillness becomes a weapon. From afar, the faint sound of rippling water and a lone raven's call break the silence. Nature's pulse quickens. Flash of silver at the water's edge. Instantly, the eagle shifts from stillness to speed. Wings open wide, head low, talons poised. No cry, no hesitation. It drops like a blade, slicing through the air at over 120 kilometers per hour. The impact erupts in a spray of water. Its talons pierce the scales, gripping the writhing fish. With one powerful beat, it lifts a 2-kilogram salmon into the air. Proof of the immense strength hidden in those wings, able to lift 4 times the bird's own weight. But the hunt isn't over. A rival osprey dives from the distance, aiming to steal the prize. The two predators twist in the sky, wings cutting close, talons flashing in the light. The eagle rolls mid-air, using gravity and the wind to its advantage. An acrobatic maneuver few raptors can perform. It steadies itself, clutching the fish tighter, then climbs higher until the intruder retreats. In this world, victory doesn't always belong to the strongest. but to the one who masters timing and endurance. That's how the bald eagle has endured for millennia. Light, hollow, but strong enough to slice through bone. Each motion precise, deliberate. The eagle pauses often, scanning the horizon for crows lurking nearby. Even in abundance, caution is survival. A gust from the bay sweeps past, carrying the smell of salt and blood. Below, the salmon continue their final journey upstream. And above, the eagle watches guardian and predator woven into the endless rhythm of this wild land. Biologists see the bald eagle not only as a symbol of power, but as a measure of ecological health. Its comeback after the DDT ban became a lesson in nature's resilience, proof that life rebounds when given the chance. The bald eagle is a living sensor of the ecosystem's balance, reminding us that strength lies in harmony. As dusk falls over the Wrangell Mountains, the sun burns red behind the pines. The eagle spreads its wings and glides across a still lake. Golden light shimmers over its white feathers. In that moment, it's no longer a hunter, it's the spirit of the wilderness itself, carried by wind and eternity. Everything quiets, leaving only the rhythm of its wings echoing across the open sky. And as its shadow fades beyond the horizon, one question lingers. In a world increasingly ruled by humans, flying away with the wings of the bald eagle.
Giữa vùng nước đục ngầu của rừng mưa Amazon, một gợn sóng nhỏ lan ra rồi tan biến. Đôi mắt sáng nhô lên giữa đám lục bình, bất động. Đó không phải là tảng đá trôi nổi. Đó là chăn anaconda, kẻ khổng lồ bí ẩn đang rình chờ con mồi. Nhưng trong thế giới ngập nước đầy nguy hiểm này, liệu nó là kẻ săn hay sẽ trở thành con mồi? Ở lưu vực sông Orinoco, nơi biên giới Venezuela và Colombia, ánh nắng đầu ngày rải xuống mặt nước màu nâu đỏ. Khung cảnh yên bình, cá da trơn quẫy đuôi dưới làn nước, chim bói cá lao xuống như mũi tên. Tiếng khỉ hú vọng từ tán cây cao. Nhưng ngay dưới mặt nước, chăn anaconda xanh, loài rắn lớn nhất hành tinh, đang nằm bất động. Có cá thể dài tới 8 mét, nặng hơn 200 kg. Lớp vảy xanh thẫm lốm đốm đen giúp chúng gần như tàng hình. Trong môi trường sông ngòi, đầm lầy và rừng ngập nước, sự tĩnh lặng chính là vũ khí tối thượng. Chúng cảm nhận dòng chảy bằng toàn bộ cơ thể. Chỉ một rung động nhỏ từ bầy vịt trời bơi ngang hay tiếng sột soạt của một con lợn rừng lội xuống đều lọt vào giác quan. Anaconda không cần săn mồi mỗi ngày. Một bữa ăn lớn có thể nuôi sống nó hàng tuần, thậm chí hàng tháng. Chính vì thế, mỗi cuộc phục kích là khoảnh khắc quyết định giữa thành công và thất bại. Đêm buông xuống, ánh trăng trải lớp sáng bạc lên dòng Orinoco. Con chăn bắt đầu trườn ra khỏi đám lau sậy, gần như không gây tiếng động. Thân hình khổng lồ uốn lượn, chìm trong màn tối. Con mồi xuất hiện, một capybara, loài gặm nhấm lớn nhất thế giới. Bước xuống bờ để uống nước, tai. Nó rung nhẹ, mắt liên tục liếc ngang dọc. Nhưng nước vốn vừa mang sự sống, vừa che giấu cái chết. Trong tích tắc, mặt nước vỡ tung. Anaconda phóng ra, quấn chặt thân hình capybara. Vòng siết siêu mạnh siết nghẹt phổi, khiến con mồi không thể hít thở. Không dùng nọc độc, không cần vết cắn chí mạng, loài chăn khổng lồ chỉ dựa vào sức cơ bắp. Mỗi nhịp giãy giụa của con capybara chỉ làm vòng siết thêm chặt. Chỉ vài phút sau, nó buông xuôi. Đoạn phim quay chậm cho thấy đôi mắt chăn vẫn bình thản, còn cơ bắp thì không ngừng siết. Khi con mồi bất động, quá trình nuốt bắt đầu. Hàm của chăn có thể mở rộng gấp nhiều lần, nuốt chửng cả một cơ thể to lớn. Cảnh tượng chậm rãi, kéo dài hàng giờ. Nhưng Amazon không chỉ có những cuộc săn trọn vẹn, kẻ khổng lồ cũng đối mặt hiểm nguy. Ở Pantano, vùng đất ngập nước rộng lớn của Brazil, một đối thủ rình rập, cá sấu đen. Với chiều dài 7 mét và bộ hàm chứa hàng chục chiếc răng bén nhọn, chúng đủ sức đối đầu với Anaconda. Khi con chăn đang siết mồi, âm thanh rẽ nước vang lên. Cá sấu lao đến, tạo nên cơn xoáy dữ dội. Cả hai quái vật vật lộn dưới làn nước đục. sấu cố ngoạm vào thân chăn, còn chăn xoắn chặt quanh xác capybara để giữ chiến lợi phẩm. Đây là trận chiến cân sức. Cá sấu có sức cắn khủng khiếp, nhưng anaconda lại có lợi thế cơ thể mềm dẻo và khả năng luồn lách trong nước. Cuối cùng, sau phút giằng co, cá sấu buông bỏ. Nó lặn mất hút trong dòng nước sâu. Anaconda giữ được bữa tiệc, từ từ lặn xuống vùng nước tối, nơi an toàn hơn. Bình minh ở Orinoco lại lên, bầu trời rực sắc hồng cam. Chăn anaconda nằm lặng dưới thảm lục bình, cơ thể căng. Đây sau cuộc săn, nó sẽ nghỉ ngơi nhiều tuần để tiêu hóa khối thịt khổng lồ, hầu như không di chuyển. Trong thời gian đó, rừng mưa vẫn vang vọng tiếng chim, tiếng khỉ. Tiếng gầm của cá sấu xa xa. Nhưng đâu đó, trong lớp nước màu nâu đỏ, một thân hình dài hàng mét lại chậm chậm dịch chuyển. Với sức mạnh cơ bắp tuyệt đối, với khả năng hòa lẫn vào bóng tối, chăn anaconda là biểu tượng của sự thích nghi. Nhưng trong thế giới Amazon, nơi cá sấu, báo đốm, piranha và vô số loài khác cũng tồn tại, liệu nó có thực sự là kẻ thống trị cuối cùng? Câu hỏi ấy vẫn còn bỏ ngỏ như tiếng thì thầm bất tận của khu rừng rậm, để lại dư âm trong tâm trí người xem.